Hey, Volo fans! Welcome back to the channel, your go-to spot for all things music, passion, and those soaring Italian voices that make our hearts skip a beat. Today, we're diving into something truly special, Volo's 15th anniversary celebration. Can you believe it's been 15 years since Piero Barone, Ignazio Bashetto, and Gianluca Ginobili first stole the world's heart with their operatic pop magic? To mark this milestone, we're taking you behind the scenes of their 2024/2025 World Tour with exclusive stories that'll make you feel like you're right there with the trio. So, grab your favorite snack, hit that like button if you're as excited as I am, and let's get started. Oh, and drop a comment below. When did you first discover Volo, and what's your favorite song by them? I'm dying to know. Picture this. It's a crisp evening in Treviso, Italy, January 2025, and the Palo Verde Arena is buzzing with anticipation. Fans are pouring in, clutching tickets for Volo's World Tour kickoff in their home country. Backstage, the energy is electric but calm. Piero's warming up his voice with scales, Ignazio's cracking jokes to loosen the mood, and Gianluca's checking his hair in the mirror. Classic Gianluca, right? But before they step into the spotlight, something heartwarming happens. The mayor of Vallorba, Francesco Soligo, pops in to meet the guys. He hands them a beautiful book, Venetian Villas, as a nod to their Italian roots. It's a small moment, but it's these little gestures that remind Volo how much their hometown loves them. Can you imagine being in that room, feeling the pride of a community celebrating their global superstars? What's a moment from your hometown that makes you feel that kind of pride? Share it in the comments. Now, let's fast forward to the stage. The lights dim, the crowd roars, and Volo launches into Capolavoro, their standout track from the 2024 Ad Astra album. The song's a perfect blend of their signature operatic power and modern pop vibes, and the audience is eating it up. But here's a fun behind-the-scenes tidbit. During rehearsals in Japan, the first stop of the tour, Ignazio almost missed his cue for Capolavoro because he was too busy joking about trying to sing in Japanese. Piero and Gianluca had to drag him back to focus, but they were all laughing so hard they barely got through the run-through. Moments like these show the brotherly bond that's kept Volo together for 15 years. Think about it. What's a time you and your friends couldn't stop laughing during something serious? Tell me about it below. Speaking of Japan, the tour's early stops in Tokyo and Osaka were a whirlwind. Volo's been huge there since their early days, and the 2024 shows were no exception. Sold-out crowds singing along to Grande Amore in perfect Italian. But backstage, the guys were dealing with jet lag and a funny mix-up. Their team accidentally ordered 50 sushi rolls instead of 15 for the crew, so everyone ended up eating sushi for days. Gianluca said in an interview, "We love Japan, but by the third day, I was dreaming of pasta." Can you relate to getting stuck with the same food on a trip? What's your go-to comfort food when you're far from home? Drop it in the comments. Let's talk about the tour set list for a sec, because this is where Volo's 15-year journey really shines. They're not just singing their new tracks like Tra lo onde or Saturno e Venire from Ad Astra International Edition. They're taking fans on a musical time machine. Classics like O Sol Mio and Il Mondo mix with their rock-infused covers of Queen's Who Wants to Live Forever, and the show must go on. Imagine hearing those powerful harmonies live, with Piero hitting those sky-high notes, Ignazio bringing the soul, and Gianluca adding that romantic flair. During a rehearsal in Milan, the guys debated which classic to include. Ignazio pushed for Volare to shake things up, but Piero and Gianluca voted for Il Mondo because it's a fan favorite. They ended up compromising by adding both. If you were picking Volo's setlist, what song would you demand they perform? Let's make a dream setlist in the comments. Okay, let's get interactive. Pause the video and grab a pen or your phone. I want you to guess. How many countries do you think Il Volo's hitting on this 2024/2025 World Tour? Write down your guess, and I'll reveal the answer in a bit. While you're thinking, let's dive into a story from their North American leg. In March 2025, Il Volo's set to perform at Radio City Music Hall in New York, a bucket list venue for them. Backstage, they're nervous but pumped. Ignazio shares in an interview that he snuck out to grab a hot dog from a street vendor before the show, only to realize he forgot his wallet. A kind fan recognized him and covered the cost, saying, "Just sing Grande Amore for me tonight." Ignazio, being the charmer, dedicated this song to her during the show. How sweet is that? Have you ever had a random act of kindness from a stranger? Share your story below. Alright, ready for the tour country count? Il Volo's performing in over 20 countries across Europe, North America, South America, and Asia. Did you guess close? Tell me your number in the comments. From Brazil's vibrant Vibra Sao Paulo to Germany's iconic Lanxess Arena, this tour is their most ambitious yet. But it's not just about the big stages. In a small moment in Buenos Aires, during their October 2025 show, the guys noticed a fan in the front row holding a sign that said, 15 years of loving you. Touched, they invited her backstage after the show for a quick chat and photo. Gianluca later said, "Our fans are our family. They've grown with us." That's the kind of connection that makes Il Volo special. If you could hold up a sign at their concert, what would it say? Let's see your creative ideas. Now, let's pull back the curtain on the hard work behind the tour. Rehearsals are intense. Hours of vocal warm-ups, choreography tweaks, and setlist debates. In an interview, Piero shared that they work with different musical directors to keep things fresh, like Canova and Gatica, who bring new energy to their arrangements. But it's not all serious. During a break in Los Angeles, Ignazio challenged Piero to a singing duel with a karaoke machine, belting out everything from Frank Sinatra to Coldplay. Gianluca, of course, recorded it and posted a clip on Instagram, captioned, "We should stick to opera." Want to see that clip? Head to Il Volo's official Instagram and let me know if you laughed as hard as I did. What's a song you'd challenge your friends to sing at karaoke? Drop it below. As the tour rolls into Europe's major capitals like Paris and Berlin in November 2025, the guys are reflecting on their 15-year journey. In an Edge interview, Piero said, "We never imagined a career like this when we started so young." From meeting on T. Lascio and a Canzoni in 2009 to singing with Barbra Streisand and winning a Latin Billboard award, they've come a long way. But there's still those fun-loving guys from Italy. Ignazio admitted they sometimes clash. "Our personalities can spark, but they always resolve it like family." Imagine being a fly on the wall during one of their tour bus debates. What do you think they argue about most song choices? Who ate the last slice of pizza or something else? Guess in the comments. It's been 15 years. 15 years since three voices, still fresh with the innocence of youth, stepped onto a stage and began a journey they never imagined would take them around the world. If you close your eyes, maybe you can picture them back then. Piero Barone, Gianluca Ginobili, and Ignazio Bashetto. Three teenagers with dreams bigger than their hometowns, voices that didn't seem to match their age, and a passion for music that could be felt even before they sang a note. Do you remember where you were the first time you heard Il Volo? For some, it might have been a YouTube video, a late-night TV performance, or maybe even the moment they won over the audience in San Remo. For others, it was at a concert, under a sky full of lights, where their harmonies seemed to float through the air like something magical. Whatever your story is, you're part of a family now, one that has grown across countries, languages, and cultures. And today, we're not just looking back at those years, we're stepping backstage with them, seeing what really happens behind the curtain. Picture this. It's the middle of a massive world tour. The arena is buzzing, fans holding banners, cameras flashing even before the show starts. But behind that giant curtain, it's surprisingly quiet. Piero is standing near a mirror, suit jacket slung over his shoulder, quietly humming his vocal warm-ups. Gianluca is scrolling through his phone, smiling at a message from a fan who just posted an old photo from their first concert together. Ignazio, always the spark of the group, is pacing around the dressing room with a mischievous grin. "Guys," he says, "you won't believe what happened in rehearsal." And just like that, the laughter begins. If you've ever wondered what it's like before they step out into the lights, this is it. A mix of calm focus, private jokes, and tiny rituals they've kept for years. Did you know they have a lucky handshake? It started in the early days, just before one of their first international performances. They were nervous, really nervous. Someone said, "Let's do something for luck." And that was it. 15 years later, that same handshake happens before every show, no matter where they are in the world. The tour bus is another story entirely. Imagine long roads stretching across continents, city skylines fading in the rearview mirror, and the quiet hum of the engine as they share stories from the stage. One night in South America, after a particularly emotional concert, the three of them sat in the back of the bus, eating local street food a fan had given them. "This," Gianluca said, "is why we do it. Not just for the music, but for the connection." Ignazio nodded, wiping sauce off his shirt with a laugh, and Piero pulled out his phone to record the moment. 15 years, he said, and we're still collecting these memories. And then there are the unexpected moments, like the time a sudden downpour in an open-air venue threatened to cancel a show. The crew scrambled, fans huddled under umbrellas, and the stage floor was slippery. But instead of backing out, Illinois Volo walked onto the stage, rain dripping from their hair, and sang anyway. The audience sang with them, voices rising over the storm. That night, Piero says, felt like we were all in the same heartbeat. Do you remember a time you saw them push through like that? 15 years isn't just about the big stages or sold-out arenas. It's about the little things. The way Ignazio always cracks a joke to break the tension before an interview. The way Gianluca still calls his family after every major performance. The way Piero quietly thanks every crew member, even the ones behind the scenes that fans never get to see. These habits, these small acts, are the invisible threads that have kept them grounded. If you could ask them anything right now, what would it be? Would you ask about their favorite song to perform, or maybe which country has the most passionate fans? Would you want to know if they still get nervous, or how they decide on their set lists? In fact, let's imagine you're here with them, sitting in a quiet cafe between shows. Gianluca stirs his coffee and smiles at you. Go ahead, he says. Ask us anything. What would your first question be? Traveling with them means more than just concerts. Between flights and rehearsals, they explore cities, meet fans in unexpected places, and sometimes sneak away for a bit of quiet. In Tokyo, they once found themselves wandering through narrow streets late at night, stopping at a tiny ramen shop that didn't even have an English menu. In Buenos Aires, they danced, yes, danced at a small tango club until nearly sunrise. And in New York, on an off day, they went ice skating in Central Park, laughing so hard they nearly fell. These are the moments no one sees unless you're there. And, of course, there's the music. Every song they perform has a story. Sometimes it's about the original composer, sometimes about a fan who wrote to them saying how that song changed their life, and sometimes it's about something deeply personal to one of them. When they sing Grande Amore, for example, it's not just a hit single, it's a time capsule, a reminder of a moment that catapulted them onto the global stage. When they perform O Sol Mio, it's not just a nod to tradition, it's a connection to their roots, to family, to home. 15 years also means change. They're not the same teenagers they were when this began. They've grown, their voices have matured, their styles have evolved. But listen closely, and you'll notice the same spark in their harmonies, the same joy in performing, the same gratitude when they talk about their fans. "We wouldn't be here without you," they often say. And they mean it, not as a scripted line, but as something they feel every time they step onto the stage and see thousands of faces looking back at them. So here's where you come in. As you watch this, think about your own journey with Il Volo. Which concert did you attend? Which song is yours? The one that makes you stop whatever you're doing and just listen. Share in the comments, because part of this celebration is your story too. And if you've never seen them live, maybe this is your sign to change that. Imagine being in the crowd, the lights dimming, the first note ringing out, and realizing you're part of something that's been 15 years in the making. The truth is, behind the scenes, Illinois Volo's story isn't just about music. It's about friendship, dedication, and the courage to dream big and keep going, even when it's hard. It's about all the times they could have taken an easier path but didn't. It's about trusting each other on and off stage, about lifting each other up when one is tired, about laughing through the mistakes and cherishing the victories. As this chapter of their journey continues, the future looks as exciting as ever. More concerts, more countries, more moments that will turn into stories years from now. And if you've been here since the beginning, you know one thing for sure. Wherever they go, they'll carry the same voices, the same hearts, and the same connection that has kept them together for a decade and a half. Now, as they step out for yet another performance, the crowd erupts, the music swells, and somewhere in that sea of faces, maybe you're there, maybe you'll be soon, someone will feel that same spark you felt the first time you heard them. And that's the magic of Il Volo. 15 years in, and it still feels like the beginning. Out show in Verona, where the ancient Arena di Verona is glowing under the stars. The crowd's buzzing, but backstage, Il Volo's got a little ritual going. Before every show, the trio huddles up, hands in, and chants, "Uno, due, tre, Il Volo." It's their way of syncing up, shaking off nerves, and reminding each other they're in this together. Ignazio spills in a chat with a local radio station that this started back in 2010 during their first big tour, when they were just teens figuring out the spotlight. Sometimes, Gianluca throws in a silly word to mess with the rhythm, and it's all they can do to keep straight faces before hitting the stage. If you had a pre-show ritual with your besties, what would it be? Maybe a secret handshake or a goofy chant? Share it in the comments. Now, let's jet to South America, where Il Volo's October 2025 shows in Brazil and Argentina are pure fire. In Sao Paulo, the Vibra Arena is packed, and the energy's wild. During Grande Amore, the crowd's singing so loud, Piero pauses mid-note, grins, and lets them take over. Backstage, he tells the crew, "That's why we do this." But here's a juicy tidbit. During soundcheck, Ignazio tried teaching the local stagehands some Italian slang, only to realize half the words didn't translate. He ended up with a new nickname, O Re du Palco, King of the Stage, which he proudly wore all night. Imagine you're backstage with Il Volo. What's one phrase you'd teach them in your language? Drop it below, and let's see how many we can collect. Fast forward to Berlin, November 2025, at the Lanxess Arena. The German fans are known for their precision. Every clap, every cheer is on point. But Il Volo shakes things up with an impromptu medley of My Way and Nessun Dorma, leaving the crowd in awe. Behind the scenes, though, there's a hiccup. Gianluca's custom in-ear monitor keeps cutting out during rehearsal, and he's stressing. The tech team scrambles, and Piero lightens the mood by serenading Gianluca with a fake opera about the sad earpiece. By showtime, it's fixed, and Gianluca's belting out notes like nothing happened. Have you ever had a tech fail at a crucial moment? How'd you handle it? Tell me in the comments. Let's hop to a quieter moment in Paris, where Il Volo's playing the Accor Arena. Before the show, the guys sneak off for a quick coffee at a nearby cafe, blending in with scarves and sunglasses. A fan spots them but doesn't approach. She just leaves a note on their table that says, "Your music healed my heart." Ignazio keeps that note in his tour journal, saying it's moments like these that remind them why they sing. It's not just about the big stages, it's the connections. If you could slip Il Volo a note at a cafe, what would you write? Get creative and share it below. Back on tour, the guys are in Miami, April 2025, at the Casillas Center. The vibe's tropical, and they're loving the energy. During a break, Ignazio challenges Piero to a dance-off to Shakira's Hips Don't Lie in the dressing room. Gianluca's the judge, but he's too busy laughing to pick a winner. A crew member catches it on video, and it's pure chaos. Think Piero attempting salsa and Ignazio going full-on disco. They tease they might share it on TikTok, so keep an eye out. What's a song you'd challenge Il Volo to dance to? Throw out your pick in the comments. As the tour hits its stride, Il Volo's reflecting on their growth. In a candid moment during a London stop, Piero shares how they've learned to balance fame with normalcy. "We still argue over who gets the front seat on the tour bus," he laughs. But they've also matured. Gianluca's taken up meditation to stay grounded, Ignazio's into cooking Italian dishes for the crew, and Piero's obsessed with collecting vinyl records from every city. In Tokyo, he found a rare Pavarotti record that he says gives him chills. If you were collecting something from every city on Il Volo's tour, what would it be? Postcards, coffee mugs, or something totally unique? Let's hear it. Okay, time for a quick game. Picture Il Volo planning a surprise encore for their final show in Rome, December 2025. They want to cover a non-Italian song to honor their global fans. What song do you think they should pick? Pause the video, think for 10 seconds, and drop your choice in the comments. My pick, Bohemian Rhapsody. Imagine those harmonies. As the tour wraps, the guys are already talking about what's next. Gianluca hints at a new project blending classical and pop in a way they've never done before. No spoilers, but they're dreaming big. What kind of project would you love to see Il Volo tackle next? A movie soundtrack, a collab with another artist, or something else? Share your wildest ideas below, and let's keep the Il Volo love going strong. Before we wrap up, let's do one more interactive moment. Close your eyes and picture yourself at an Il Volo concert. The lights are low, the orchestra swells, and they're about to sing your favorite song. Which one is it? Now open your eyes and tell me in the comments, what song just played in your head, and where are you watching Il Volo perform? For me, it's Grande Amore at Radio City Music Hall, with the crowd singing every word. As Il Volo celebrates 15 years, this tour is a love letter to their fans. From sushi overloads in Japan to heartfelt fan moments in Argentina, these behind-the-scenes stories show the heart and hustle behind the music. So, let's keep the party going. Subscribe, hit the bell, and share this video with your fellow Il Volo fans. What's one thing you'd love to ask Piero, Ignazio, or Gianluca if you met them backstage? Let's dream big in the comments. Grazie, and I'll see you in the next video.